Live, going live. You're live. I want to see myself though. If I don't see myself, I don't see myself. Can anybody out there hear me?
Yeah, we're on. We are on.
Can you see me?
We are
Um,
live.
Oh, here I am. There I am. Okay. Well, hey,
Rewatching.
whatever. Hey, move over, kids. It's time for the Sunday podcast. How is everybody doing? For a second there, it was touch and go. We got CNJ Gamer. Hello again. CNJ. What does the CNJ stand for? I know what gamer stands for. Devin, you bought yourself the Animal Crossing Switch.
yes,
Do you have it on you?
yes, I do. Hold on a second. Let me open up my case.
Now I know the dock is different.
Yeah, the dock's in the room hooked up. I would have that, but I'm too lazy to unhook it.
Yeah, you
But
can't really
yeah.
just unhook it.
I don't know if the color is going to be doing any justice here, but we have the it's like a sky blue on the right, and then the mint green on the left.
No, it
Has
looks the
that
same.
awesome print on the back.
Ooh, I like the print. I can see the print.
Yeah, it's got like islands and animals and water print all over it. I've never like the Pikachu one had a print on the back of it too. I had never held one in my hand. It's actually textured. I didn't know that.
Ooh,
Yeah,
nice.
I almost feel that it's not a custom Switch if the Switch itself is not custom. Like the dock of the Smash Brothers was custom, but I don't think the Switch itself was custom. So it's
No,
almost
I think the Switch was normal. It was just the gray Joy Cons that had the weird X symbol across them.
yeah. So I don't. So it almost felt like it wasn't really a custom Switch like that. But
Yeah.
CNJ Gamer says it's classified. All right, it's classified. I'll never tell you what MOK stands for on this channel.
But they definitely did put a lot more work into the Switch, though. It's so much better looking, in my opinion. Very bright and colorful and eye catching.
I wonder why
Even
they
the box,
release
too.
it a week before, just to get the
I
hype
don't
up.
know. Yeah, probably just to get the hype up. I was going to get the Switch, and I'm like, I really want the game because in Europe, it's the Switch isn't releasing until the day of the game because they get the game the same day.
You want to know a way to get people to buy that game digitally, and like sell like an extra like 100,000 Switches. You let people get a free code that can play a week early.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm
I,
telling
st-
you.
I still wouldn't do it because I want my physical copy.
yeah. I want a physical copy as
Yeah,
well.
but there would be
there
some
is
people-
that would.
I mean, do you think Devin would be talking to us right now if he could be playing Animal Crossing?
Yeah, I would. I'd probably be playing it at the same time.
Chris Carlio, what up? And Tyler, he is excited for Animal Crossing on Friday. Yeah, I am definitely on Friday. The base is shut down, but I can still go to the store to get it. And if you're Tyler, are you part of a branch of the military or anything? I've been playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption lately. I still need to play that. But so yeah, and Chris Carlio, hello. Animal Crossing. Oh, I'm so pumped for Animal Crossing. Isaac, hey, what's up, man? What, David? You had mentioned something beforehand. What's the big news? There's a couple big news this week, actually. What the big news that you would consider, though?
Yeah, E3 is not a thing this year, as
Yep.
far as we know.
Yep. I'm not sure if we say it, we say it. If we don't, we don't. But the thing that everybody is worried about, we'll call it the situation. And it's the thing that's making people go buy toilet paper and
And I don't
whatever.
understand that because it does not give you the runs.
yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand
It
the
does
toilet
not-
paper thing either.
No. It's not Taco Bell.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I would like a Taco Bell virus though, if Taco Bell could whip something up. Tyler, when I'm done with college, I'm going to be a fighter pilot. Ooh, sweet! But his
Nice.
dad's in the military, so hey, seriously, if you want to like thank your dad for move over kids. We
So
appreciate
one-
his service.
One thing about my family history, and I don't know where he is on the family tree, but I have a person with my same last name from World War II who was a fighter pilot. He was a triple ace.
Ooh, wow, triple ace. I was watching.
Yeah. Look him. It's Robin Olds. OLDS.
Your name, Robin.
No, his name's Robin.
Oh, okay.
Dude.
But Robin Olds. There's actually a documentary on the Discovery. Was it Discovery or History Channel? They did a whole episode on him.
Oh, cool. And Raquel and Destiny are joining us right now. Now we can officially start because Destiny and Raquel was the first one to ever donate to the channel. So the we don't start until Raquel gets here. But anyways, E3. What do you think the ramifications of E3, David? What does this mean? Like, what do you think?
Maybe it forces companies to push forward any type of direct, like a Nintendo Direct version of what their message wants to be. Like Sega has a direct in the pipeline, and I know Sony's State of Play is kind of taken off, and Microsoft has something similar as well. So maybe this is the year that it's like, do we really need E3?
I think this will kill E3. I think this is like the final nail. Or if not the final nail, it's like one of the nails of E3's coffin. Because weren't they already talking about going like more of an influencer route instead of a video game route?
Right. So that's kind of how it's probably going to pan out. I mean, the show must go on, so I think Nintendo is gonna, probably have something around that time, and you're gonna have. I just feel like maybe the Square Enix press conference is probably gonna be, like a direct style or Ubisoft or maybe something pops up in the next. Well, I mean, they're trying to avoid, people going to these places, so it's gonna be interesting how this pans out.
I think Bethesda could do a direct on the fly, but I feel sorry for all the other companies. Everyone has to do a Nintendo Direct, and Nintendo's been doing that Direct for 5-6 years now. So Nintendo, of course, can do their E3 Direct, and just even if they filmed it, all they have to do is change a couple things. They don't have to say "Welcome to the E3 Direct." All they got to do is refilm some dude saying "Welcome to our Direct," and now they can air it any time. I still kind of hope they air it during the E3 season. I still like the E3 season, but Microsoft is the one that's going to be in real trouble because they've never done a direct before. Even though the PlayStation ones kind of suck, I am biased though, so maybe they were good, whatever. But the consensus was the first two really sucked, and the third one was saved by Final Fantasy VII, and at least though they know how to do it, you know what I mean? So they can just easily, and they weren't even going to show up anyways. They can easily put something together. It's Xbox that I feel loses the most out of E3 being gone, and the small time publishers, because if Xbox decides not to do anything, maybe not small publisher, medium publisher. If Xbox decides not to do anything, that takes some notoriety out of some publicity out of video games that might not really get the showcase spotlight that they deserve.
Well, one of the things about E3 was it didn't used to be about showing the fans all the games. It used to be just something for the media. Just something to show the people in the industry. And then it just started becoming something that gamers really clung to and wanted to see more of. And then it became more commercial and started becoming the big to-do that we were seeing the past few years, where it's got the big stage productions and all the celebrities are coming out. And with the recent events, I think that if they do decide to do E3 again, they might close it off to the public again.
That's probably their best bet, because E3 is looking, now that PlayStation does their own Nintendo Direct, it hurts. It really does hurt, because Nintendo just kept they did their cool thing last year. Me and David went. We got our cool keychain. We waited in line. Nintendo acts like it's there still.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation is just like, nope, I'm not there. I'm not there. And Destiny Little just got her Animal Crossing Switch on Friday. So
Yay.
Congratulations. Welcome one of us. One of us. The other big news I would consider this week is Reggie, the Reginator, going to GameStop.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that?
I think he's going to fix it, definitely. I don't think he was going to jump on a burning ship.
Oh, maybe he did. Maybe it's too late.
I think he likes the challenge, man. I mean, a lot of people forget he comes from corporate America, right? Like Pizza Hut. He was there for a long time, and he really changed a lot of their marketing ways. I mean, he's the guy who created the Bigfoot pizza, and I know that was kind of like a phenomenon back then. So,
what's the Bigfoot pizza?
I mean, I really can't tell you much about it. I think it's big, and I think it's in like shape of a rectangle. It's cut in squares, if I'm not mistaken. But the point being is that, he knows marketing sense. He knows company sense, and at the end of the day, it's money, right? It's a business. So
yeah, he understands video games.
Maybe he just knows how people approach still brick and mortar stores like GameStop. Because people are gonna miss GameStop when they're gone, man.
The thing is,
it's true.
The thing is, like, he's going to be part of basically a committee. So it's going to come down to what, I mean, even if he brings up some good points, it's going to come down to what everybody else wants too. So nothing's really going to happen overnight, unfortunately.
Yeah, but if he climbs and he's already got connections with this committee probably. So hopefully, like, they're just like, yeah, let's go with this dude. He knows what he's saying, because it would just. That's what the trolls will go into hiding if GameStop fails, because the trolls, they want GameStop to fail.
No, yeah, they're just gonna start cheering because they don't have to walk into a store and hear somebody suggest something to them. It's like, for crying out loud, they do that at Target, they do that at Walmart, they do that at most stores now.
Every store is gonna offer you that dumb warranty. Get over it.
And I'm so sick of, well, they give me like 25 cents for my game and they resell it for $55. Like, no, they don't.
Yeah.
It's like, don't trade in your 10-year-old sports game.
Yeah, guarantee you buy.
If you don't want 25 cents.
Yeah, you guarantee you buy like Animal Crossing and you don't like it. I bet they give you $40 for it right away back. I mean. And I can see why they have to take some money off.
And I got a friend of mine who works at GameStop. He's wondering, because we have another local GameStop that's going to be closing soon, or at least they're going to start putting stuff on liquidation.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned earlier that I was thinking about going tomorrow to see what they have. And one of the other guys in the chat said, just don't go out if you absolutely need to. And one of the guys just said, I think they might close the store tomorrow morning. The CDC and White House are putting out a curfew for restaurant guidelines.
Wow.
So it could be that GameStop in some areas might not even be open on Friday for Animal Crossing.
Ew, that's no good.
Yeah.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous. Meanwhile, I still have to go to work. The mail has to get delivered.
Yeah.
Everybody still has. Well, a lot of people get to stay home.
Yeah, he said it. He said his wife, her part of the hospital, gets to work from home, starting Tuesday.
Well, that's good for them. What do you think would happen if Nintendo? Just this is just a question that I thought up. What if Nintendo stopped happening? Like, they were like, you know what, we're done with consoles, we're gonna go exclusive. Who do you think they would get? Would you rather them go exclusive with? PlayStation?
I think they would.
Or
I think they would
Xbox?
go with PlayStation.
Okay. What about you, Devin? Who would you rather them go exclusive with? Xbox or PlayStation?
I don't know. I think they definitely would probably go PlayStation, to be honest.
If they
And
did,
there's two good reasons why.
why? Give me two.
All right. Sony is a Japanese company,
Yeah.
and the competition does not do well in Japan.
Ooh, that argument right there actually kind of
Yeah.
I was gonna say, well, Nintendo's already doing stuff with Microsoft, so there's a relationship there. But you know what? If Nintendo did suddenly jump on the Xbox bandwagon, I'll tell you, Xbox would start selling like hotcakes.
You could say that, yes, but I wonder if the opposite would happen. If people would say, well, I don't care if Nintendo went over to them, I'm not buying that American console.
Uh-huh. What about you, David? Where do you think they'd go?
I would say my money is on Microsoft,
Think
just
so?
because of like the rubbing of shoulders that's already happened. I mean, Cuphead is selling bukus on it. You got Ori and the Blind Forest coming to Switch. I mean, potential Halo stuff that has always been rumored, of course, but
Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo-Kazooie, right? All that good stuff. I mean, maybe
I'd say they're likely picking and choosing what they want
would-
for that. I do see your point, though.
I would
do see your
say,
point.
yeah, I would say, just from what we've seen, Microsoft, maybe that would be the thing that would help them sell well in Japan, and just to be like, okay, now it's like a joint party against Sony, which is like the big baddie, right?
the
Or whatever,
allies.
however you want to see it. But
The allies
there's-
versus the axis
there
of
was-
evil.
Yeah, there was that situation back in the '90s between Nintendo and Sony, but
Oh,
you can always heal things.
Could we
You can
circle
always
back
heal
to
old.
that?
Yeah, you can always heal old wounds. I could see them shaking hands and letting bygones be bygones. And I mean, there's that picture of Sonic shaking Mega Man's hand that was used for an ad years ago.
Why
Yeah,
were
I think I
Sonic,
remember that,
why were
actually.
Sonic and Mega Man mad at each other?
I think there was something about a partnership
Oh,
with Sega and Capcom.
gotcha. Hey, everybody in the chat, if you haven't hit the like button, go ahead and do that, please. I'd appreciate it. It doesn't really, I don't know how it helps, but it helps in the all-knowing YouTube algorithm. Hey, I just got an extra like out of that. I think last night I was having trouble sleeping, and I'm not sure if I created a game, a tower defense game, having trouble sleeping. I want to explain it to you guys now, and you tell me if this is. You tell me. Like, I was waking up every 2 hours, and I should have wrote it down, but it was like, pretend you're on like a field like Plants vs. Zombies, and in this you have villagers who are trying to get all the grass and the wheat, the rice, the whatever you want to call it. They're trying to get it all, and they move per block once they get it, and that's how you fuel your money. So that's your money. But there are also soldiers who can shoot the villagers, or you can buy soldiers who can shoot the other soldiers, and it's just you're just trying to figure out whoever gets the most. Maybe it doesn't work. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I guess it doesn't work.
I'm almost thinking of something from from old Japan where everybody's in the rice paddies.
Yeah, I was thinking something along those lines too. And at first it started around a tank, and I was like, okay, how can we get a tank involved in this? But I couldn't figure out a way to blow up the tank with just soldiers. So you'd have to have 2 tanks. And if you got 2 tanks, I don't know. I really like tower defense games, but there hasn't been any good ones lately. I think Plants vs. Zombies 3 just came out, so I guess I can download that. But I'm very picky with my tower defense games, but I really, really enjoy them. Hey,
You should try that hypercharged
64.
game on the Switch. I forget the full title.
What game?
It's called Hypercharged something Unblocked or something like that. It's basically a tower defense game where you play as action figures, and
really?
it's almost like Toy Story. It's pretty interesting. I downloaded it the other day.
Hypercharge Unboxed, I think it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
Unboxed. I knew it was something.
Yeah, I
can't
just looked it
remember.
up.
Unboxed.
It was on other consoles. I think on PS4 and Steam. I think.
Cool. I might do that because I've been like on a game freeze because of Animal Crossing.
There's
Oh, yeah.
there's another series that and I blank on the name of it, and I have it here somewhere, where the characters you played as were actual figures from the 80s. I'll have to look it up real quick and see
Hey,
what it
William,
was.
what's your favorite Pokemon?
I really like Lickitung,
Lickitung. What's your second favorite?
Ludicolo. I like the oddball ones.
Okay. You just have so many Pokemon behind you that I'm just like, what?
Yeah, I've got yeah, there's a whole. Those are all like mostly EVs back there. Those are Margot's EVs.
Is there an EV for every type?
No, there's still
Okay.
some. There's still some that like we don't have a rock type. We don't have a flying type. Don't have a
Ghost
dragon type. Yeah, ghost type.
I already know
would
how to
love
get a
see
ghost type.
EV.
Oh, the game I was thinking of was Toy Soldiers.
I think I
War
actually
Chest.
remember that.
Yeah, for I think it's I don't know what other systems it's on. It's on the PS4, and I don't know what else it's on. But you could play as. Let me look. So you had Assassin's Creed, Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe, and Cobra, and then generic characters.
Neat.
I saw the funniest meme the other day. It was do you remember Cobra, the terrorist group that wanted to take over the world? And they were funded by Hasbro, the same people who funded G.I. Joe, their enemy. Wake up, people. Hasbro has been funding everybody. I thought it was so funny. I was like, oh man, people don't know. Okay,
That's really
what about favorite Animal Crossing game release from Sep 64? We'll start with David. What's your favorite Animal Crossing? Got to be GameCube.
Yeah, it is GameCube.
Yeah, I could tell. And I bet I could tell everybody's favorite. Devin.
Well, obviously, I love the GameCube because it was the start of it, but I have to say New Leaf, though.
Yep.
Like,
I knew you were going to say New Leaf.
it was such a good game.
And William is actually the one I don't know. I want to say something like the Wii version because you're just weird with your games sometimes.
No,
I actually like
liked
the one that came out in Japan.
Animal Forest.
Yeah, they did have the Animal Forest one.
Yeah, I was going to say, I haven't heard of that in a long time.
Yeah, man. 64 double disc. Would have been crazy.
Mine's City Folk. Oh, well, September 64 is City Folk, the Wii.
I never even played that one.
I played it because my kid, I wanted to show my kid the GameCube version, and it was like, there was just so much talking and you can't read, so I was like, man, I better never get to Rossetti. Let me just pop in the Wii version, and it was all right. It was all right. I think that's the motto of the Wii for like hardcore gamers. It's all right. Not like you're gonna have a lot of fun. It's we're just gonna plug along. Now Galaxy people would tend to disagree, and it seems like Twilight Princess fans are starting to rally like they did around Majora's Mask. I find a lot of people saying Twilight Princess was their favorite.
Yeah, Twilight Princess. I mean, it's very nostalgic already for me. That's when I started high school.
But is it your favorite?
The favorite Zelda game?
Yeah.
No, not my favorite, but it would be up there in like the top 3, I would say.
Top 3?
Yeah.
I would definitely say mine's got to be A Link Between Worlds and then Majora's Mask.
Yeah, I mean, just because it was a jump. It was a jump of generations, and it was hyped for such a long time. And I think it set the precedent for the ones to come. It was really dark and edgy, and I liked that a lot.
I remember telling people, it's an adult Link. It's an adult Link. You guys don't understand. He's an adult.
And I really like the final boss, man, and the boss fights were so great. Like all the boss fights are like better than a good chunk of the boss fights from Breath of the Wild. Just to say that, I mean, Ganon riding horseback while it's raining, and then you stab him in the head. Come on,
Yeah.
that's so amazing. He's got like that trident weapon that glows red. That's so awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
Fighting
That game
Zant,
was so fun.
fighting Zant, and every time you came across like that, what was theorized to be Link in the past or something, that skull figure, and he would teach you a new move.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I love that. The scary part when Link has white eyes and it's like a nightmare, that scared the hell out of me.
That creeped me out when suddenly his best friend just starts falling upside down and then it's just raining her. I was like, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
I think my game glitched.
But that game still, I mean, it means, and also the Wolf Link concept was really cool with Midna.
I need to play it again because it doesn't even rank top 5 for me, and so many people like it. I'm like, maybe I need to play it again. I was just
But I remember playing Twilight Princess when it first came out on the Wii. I did not get that far. I really liked it, but just setting up the Wii was just hard to do with the sensor bar and all that jazz. And then the Wii U came out again. I played it a little bit. I was like, okay, I'm gonna beat this time, and I didn't. Now that I found it again, I actually want to try to go through it.
The part that I remember the most is the bridge scene where it's when he's fighting on the bridge against some. You know, if you go into Smash Brothers, there's a level where there's a bridge and some guy comes across and he throws a bomb. Well, that happened in Zelda Breath of the Wild or Twilight Princess, and that was such an epic scene. That's what I remember the most of Twilight Princess. Just and that crazy raining of his best friend. Those are the two things.
I love the snow level, the snow castle. That was so cool.
I don't remember the smoke castle.
I didn't remember either, but then I watched the video of someone speedrunning it, and there's like Yetis there.
That's cool.
That help you like snowboard or something. But that's where you get that wrecking ball weapon where you can like throw
that thing.
Huge wrecking ball and like bring it back.
I love how he just pockets it.
But
see, Tyler's like Twilight Princess, his favorite too. You know what I bet happened? I drank a lot in my 20s, and I played Twilight Princess in my 20s, so I probably just forgot a lot of stuff. You know but I was so pumped for it. I was just so pumped for it.
Yeah. But that's not my, and that's just to say that's still not my favorite Zelda. I mean, Ocarina of Time is always going to have a special place in my heart. But you know, people have that argument of, well, you're just wearing nostalgia goggles or whatever. But there was a reason why it became my favorite Zelda game of all time.
Was it your first favorite Zelda game?
No. I mean, as far as what I was exposed to, no. I mean, I remember my cousin playing Link to the Past on the SNES, but that wasn't like the first time I played a Zelda game.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first time I played and beat a Zelda game. It's just, you know, you have these games that you come across in your life and it just strikes your fancy at the right time. And that game, that's what because I played it late. So it's not like I even had outside influence of the people being like, have you played Zelda? It just came out like last week. I didn't have that. I grew up poor, so I would get games maybe a year or two later. So I honestly experienced that at my own pace and with my own logic and opinion. So it's just my favorite Zelda game, and I think it was considered for me my favorite game of all time for a while.
Twilight Princess,
Really?
or Ocarina of Time?
Ocarina of Time, yeah. For a while. I mean, things have changed in the last 10 years, I would say, but It depends the conversation, I guess.
A lot of the games I still have to replay through.
I would like
It's been a
to.
while since I've played them.
I would like to replay through Ocarina of Time actually on the 3DS though, because
I've got the 3DS one, and I've attempted to start replaying, but there's been like so many other things that I've been doing that
Yeah.
I can't get through it.
I agree. I started playing Ocarina of Time as well again, and just I got to a certain point. I'm like, I don't want to do this right now.
hey, Chris Carleo picked up a Dreamcast for $70. He asked if anyone picked up anything. I nope, haven't picked up anything. I'm on a completely Animal Crossing. That's where all guns are pointed to.
Me too. But Chris, if you're on the hunt and you can actually find somebody, get Power Stone. If you
Yes.
can find that thing cheap, Power Stone all
Yep.
day.
Yep.
Best game on the Dreamcast.
I was lucky to find Power Stone for $5 at when I bought my Dreamcast, like 3-4 years ago, maybe. No, 4 years ago.
Pretty penny.
Huh?
Even 4 years ago, that game was still a pretty
I
penny.
know,
And
I know.
I just have one game for my Dreamcast.
Dude, like I said, man, when I first started collecting in 2016, I honestly think I got lucky several times in a row for each system I was collecting for. Like a Dreamcast, this thing popped up on it wasn't even for me searching a Dreamcast. It was like someone saying, I don't want these CDs my son bought or a long time ago.
Oh, that's the best though.
So I like inquired, and I was like, do you have any like video games, like maybe old stuff? You got to really know the wording, right? And she's like, no, but here's my son's phone number. You can call him, right? And it was just this like cat mouse thing for a while, and then he's like, hey, I got a Dreamcast in the attic. I don't ever touch, and that's like gold to any collector's ear, right? So I go over to
Dreamcast
his
is
house.
very popular still.
Yeah, I went over to his house and he just pulled out all these games, man, like Soul Calibur and Rayman, and just all in the jewel box, like in the case still. I think there's some that are sealed. I think Code Veronica was sealed.
Ooh.
And it was just a stack of games, man. $5. He just was like, dude.
One
Well,
thing I don't know why this just got me on that. I want to play Parasite Eve again. Very good.
I'd say play it around the holidays, because that's the best time to play it. That's when the game takes place.
Yeah, true. I don't remember a lot about it, but my brother used to play that, and I would watch him, and it just give me horrible nightmares. That game was so creepy.
I just had to grab the game off my shelf. The only Dreamcast game I have is actually a homebrew title.
Okay.
And the case is cracked, and it cracked in shipment. But it's this one, James and Watch.
Watch.
So there was the podcast Retro Gaming Roundup. UK Mike on that show, or Mike James. Him and his brother. He had a story about him and his brothers. His brothers went and took him out to the football field, and they would throw him up in the air. This is when he was younger. Well, they threw him up one time and then didn't catch him, and he landed and broke his arm.
Oh no.
So that's why on the case there's the broken arm.
Oh,
But yeah, but they had a whole. It's basically a Game and Watch game where you're throwing him in the air.
That's funny. That's actually really funny.
I really wish the case didn't get cracked.
We got a question.
I got number 2 of 69.
Oh, nice. We got a question from Ronald. Don't really know how to pronounce your last name.
Say Ronald or Donald?
Ronald with an R. He says, what are your guys' number one favorite video game of all time? I feel like for me, it's cheap because I say Breath of the Wild and it just came out. It's almost like sometimes I feel like you got to put distance between a game. And if I were to be like, oh yeah, just I feel Breath of the Wild is like a cheap answer. So I'm going to say Breath of the Wild is my first game, but I'm going to come back to it to say my second favorite game. What's your favorite game, William?
I'm gonna have to go with Burger Time.
Burger Time, okay.
It's still one of my absolute favorites.
And
first game I ever played.
And what would your second favorite be?
Likely Mega Man 2.
Mega Man 2, ooh. Okay. Rat Boy, first, your number one and your number two video games.
Well, my number one favorite game has to be probably Portal. And well, it's a hard tie there because of Super Mario World being the first game that I really got into when I was a kid, and the first game I ever touched.
Uh-huh.
So, but Portal, yeah, it's such an immersive game to me. I loved it. I still do.
Okay. And let's go with David. Top 2 favorite games.
I'm gonna say Ocarina of Time and Super Mario World.
Okay.
Those are just like how I experienced them at such a young age. Still have vivid memories of them, and it it set the example for the rest of that franchise, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, those
I'm really, really cheap. Yeah, you guys got to understand, Ronald. I'm a huge Zelda fan. If you look at like everything behind me that's not garbage, it's Zelda. And Wind Waker is actually my second favorite video game of all time. Like, and if you ask me my third, it'd probably be Ocarina of Time. Like my top 5 games, I almost feel like when someone says your top 5, I feel like I should only include one Zelda game, because if I was really, really honest, it would probably be like, I'm trying to think of a game that could make it into my top 5 that couldn't top out Link to the Past or not Link Between Worlds, Link's Awakening. It's just very difficult for me. I just love Zelda so much that I don't know. I just don't know if I could like bring in a top 5. Can you guys do a top 5?
Probably not at the moment.
Yeah, not at the moment. I would need time to think on that one.
I'm trying to think what would be a game that could be in a top 5 for me. Ronald says, "What about A Link to the Past?" Ronald, that is my 6th favorite Zelda game. I have thought about Zelda a lot, and I actually placed it Link's Awakening just above Link to the Past. But Link to the Past is such a good game, because when you open it up and it's raining and you don't know where you're at and you can hear your uncle's voice, it was such a beautiful, beautiful game. And the graphics, everything. I played it when it came out. All right, I feel bad for a lot of the kids today, like Sep64. He appreciates old games, but you will never grow up knowing what kind of NES Friday the 13th game we had compared to the Friday the 13th game we have today. You will never notice. You will never know Mario of 85 to Mario throwing his hat on a giant T-Rex. It's just amazing. And that's how I feel like when I talk about Zelda Link to the Past. Like the rain. You guys don't understand. There was rain.
Like back when Super Mario Brothers 2 was going to be coming out over here, one of my cousins got a chance to play it, and I hadn't even seen any video of it whatsoever. And she mentioned, yeah, there's a character named Toad in it. And I had no idea what Toad was. I didn't know it was one of the Toadstool characters. So I was thinking Toad is in a frog. So I thought there was a frog character in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty funny, though.
Is that where the frog came from?
So I want to, whenever you guys are done.
Mario 2 had Wart in it, but when she said Toad, because Toad is the name of...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What were you saying, David?
Okay, so it's been, 2 years since Mario Odyssey released, right?
Give or take.
I was thinking the other day, man, what if the next Mario game is not an Odyssey sequel? What if it's like Mario Galaxy 3, or what if it's like a brand new title on its own?
I would be very surprised.
What are you expecting? Like, we can go down the cast, but what are you expecting for the next Mario installment? We can talk about that if you want.
Good idea.
Okay, so
Go on, Ted.
why don't you go, Rat Boy?
I'm trying to think.
Okay. I say that the next one, I'd be surprised if it... normally I would say let's just have Galaxy 3. But because Mario Odyssey is such a staple of the Switch, I think it'd be too confusing to go to Galaxy 3. So I say we just get a Mario Odyssey 2 because we also have the same engine. They could just do what they're doing with Zelda. Why they could turn it around so quick. Just use the same engine, just do this, just do that, and we got ourselves boom. And now I don't know how it works because in the end, Peach, just spoiler alert, walks away from both of them. And it's like, well, why didn't you do that in the first place? But she just walks away from both of them, so it's like, would we just have Koopa Bowser just kidnap her again? Or I don't know.
Well, he always does.
I would hope for. I don't know about you guys, but I did not like the Brutals. I think they were like a cheap villain. It was just like a cheap reskin of like the Koopa Kids or something.
Oh yeah, they should have totally did the Koopa Kids.
It was uninspired. I don't even think they should have done Koopa Kids, man. I think they should have done like unique bosses like we saw in like Mario Sunshine with like Petey Piranha being a bad guy. That's so cool, man. That is so cool. You know? But when they're all bunnies, it's just kind of lame, if you ask me. I don't know.
It was kind of dipping into rabbits territory.
Yeah, I could kind of get that vibe. You know?
I do not like the rabbits.
they're so loud. That's my problem.
I can't say on the show.
Jeez.
I have
wow. I want to have 5 minutes after the show. We're talking about this.
there is a thing I don't like about them, and I'll say off the air.
I need to know this.
I can't wait. So yeah, I mean the bad guys. Like, give me some bad guys that are like. You guys remember that bad guy in where the mini? I think it was a mini boss in Mario Galaxy where it was like a mole rat that would like strike down and you would spin and hit it and he'd go back up.
Yeah, I remember that one.
It was so cool. Also, the octopus fire boss king thing. He would like spit out fireballs. It was like, wow, what do I do here? You know, and just like it would like wrap around the planet and you'd have to spin and it'd go back.
I'm with you now that you say it, but like I would have totally been cool with just the Koopa Kids.
Do you feel like that's the same said story every single time? I know Mario is not known for its like profound lore like story, but I feel like I fight the Koopa Kids every single time. Like
no, the Koopa Kids were gone for a long time.
Yeah, and I love them. Like I really like Ludwig and Roy and I like they all have really cool personalities. And I'm all about it if they do it. Like that would be so, you know, to see them in like that engine and like the crazy stuff they would do, be so cool. But I would like to see like the other baddies of like the Mushroom Kingdom. Like, what if they brought back Wart or something? Or
well, technically, you did see some other baddies. You just didn't like them.
The Brutals?
Yeah.
No, they were terrible, man. They were lame.
I don't think there's. I didn't get as lame as a vibe as you did, but I understand why you're saying what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like when Sonic went to the Wii U in Sonic Lost World. They just kind of split them up into 7 bad guys, like they do for all of his. You know, for it seems like because the Chaos Emeralds, there's 7 of them, and it seems like they kind of split them up into 7, and it's like. Let's make the main bad guy like the big burly like in your face Bowser type, but let's get this weird skinny long one that's kind of dopey. It's kind of like the baddies in Space Jam, the little alien guys.
Uh-huh.
The archetypes that they kind of land on. You have kind of like the dopey one that's like lanky and saliva's coming out of his mouth and you've got like the pink one that's obviously the girl and she's like really cute, but will definitely beat you up, right? It's kind of like that, man. It's uninspired. I'm not impressed by that. I feel like you got to go zany. You got to do the weird stuff. And the stuff
I just didn't understand why rabbits. That was the thing that really got me. Like, why rabbits?
There was nothing, and I'm sure the sleuthers will say, oh, because of the year of the rabbit or something. But I don't think there was any connection to it really.
Like if they had done armadillos or something, even it would have been different. Like just like I didn't understand why rabbits. Bandana Gamer, what's up, man?
But that's my take on it. I hope that I see more enemy variety. I think the enemies were really cool. Like the things you could absorb were really cool.
The ending was just so amazing to me when you were suddenly Bowser, and I remember thinking, no way, I'm about to become Bowser. It was just Mario Odyssey was a masterpiece. Even with the just like Zelda Breath of the Wild, just a masterpiece. But the ending, Mario Odyssey was a masterpiece. But the rabbits, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I still think it would be really, because if you look at Galaxy on the Wii, that game looked beautiful on the Wii. I can only imagine how that would look in HD graphics on the Switch now. Oh my god, that would look so good.
You're getting my heart racing right now.
I know.
Nintendo could like just re-release literally everything in their library again right now, and people would just buy it.
Dollars, just make it rain, Nintendo.
Yeah, man. And they can easily put 3 Zeldas on one. Put Zelda 1 and 2 together. I'll buy it for $60.
Well, look what they did on the GameCube, the Zelda collection that they released on there.
Yeah, but they were doing that stuff as like free promotions and stuff. But I would have bought it I would just bought it.
Yeah.
You give me Link to the Past. At this point, just remake Link to the Past because they remade, but remake it in the Awakenings engine.
Yeah, I mean, if they wanted to offer something legitimate for those coins that we get and we don't use, that's something they could offer us. Give us that collection as a exclusive to coins.
Dude, that'd be nuts.
What would be cool in a Mario Odyssey is like bring back canonical Mario, like Mario characters that have branched off into their own things. Like Donkey Kong was a bad guy at some point, and I thought that we would see the Donkey Kong cast, because in the opening trailer you would see like Diddy Kong Lane and Dixie Lane and the street.
That would be a cool crossover.
What if you had like Donkey Kong as like a baddie and Wario as a baddie and Waluigi, like something more like grassroots Mario style? That would be so cool.
Well, don't forget it was Cranky Kong that was the that's the bad guy. Donkey Kong is not the bad guy.
Catch me up to speed here.
That was Cranky Kong in the first game, and Donkey Kong for the NES, and that was Cranky Kong.
There are 3 Donkey Kongs. There's Cranky Kong.
Yeah.
There's Donkey Kong Jr.
Right.
And then there's Donkey Kong.
Okay.
And that's the order in which they exist. So in the first game, where in 1981, the Donkey Kong that you are fighting, that Mario is fighting, is actually Cranky Kong, who has aged into an old man.
Okay.
In the current timeline. So, but you're thinking, well, how come Mario didn't really age? My theory is that's Mario's grandfather, but there's nothing that says it. Donkey Kong Jr., he was in Donkey Kong 2 and 3 and Donkey Kong Math, and then he kind of just faded away. And Donkey Kong Jr. is Cranky Kong's son. Donkey Kong Jr. had a son also, and that's Donkey Kong DK, who we know today.
I actually haven't heard of.
If you look at Super Mario Kart 1, it's Donkey Kong Jr. in it, and he has a wife beater shirt on, or what are those shirts called that are PC? How can I say it PC? Not a wife beater, but a tank top or something. If you have if the Kong has a tank top, it's Donkey Kong Jr., the father of the Donkey Kong that you and I know and love. So the Donkey Kong that you know has never been a bad guy.
Gotcha.
His dad was the bad, or his grandfather was the bad guy.
Man, the lore runs deep in the DK franchise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, and Craigie Kong's so old he couldn't be a bad guy anymore.
But yeah, that's pretty much my only desire from the next Mario game is give me some cool bosses that are like really hard. I love fighting hard bosses in Mario games because it's like I got the pattern down, but I just need to do the execution right.
Mm.
That's
why I like Mario Galaxy, because you had to use the gravity of the planets too, and that would work against you or in your favor.
Could you imagine if Miyamoto just went in and said, "I want Mario in a Zelda game"? And everyone just looked at him.
Like, dude.
And they're like, "Wait, what?" And he's like, "I just want Mario in a Zelda game." And he just leaves. And he's like, "I'll be back in 12 months." And so, yeah, Mario fighting Ganon.
I could see doing a version of Mario that, I mean, you got the characters that look a bit like Mario and Luigi from the ranch in Ocarina of Time.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I think that's the extent of what they would do with putting Mario in the game.
Yeah, and there's even like an R-wing in the debug mode for Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, there is.
That's so cool.
Oh, Bandana Gamer does bring up a point that in the new versions of Mario versus Donkey Kong games, those are typically handheld games for the Game Boy Advance, DS, 3DS, whatever. It is the current Donkey Kong he is fighting, but I played some of those games, and it seems like those are more of a competitive nature, like Mario versus Sonic at the Olympic Games, as opposed to Mario versus Sonic in a steel cage match.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, they're a bit of like a puzzle type game.
Yeah, but
they start out with the traditional Donkey Kong levels, and then it expands to being different.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any harm meant.
No.
And look, there's a lineage. I forget who Funky Kong is related to. Funky Kong. I hope he's in Smash Brothers.
Do you guys think the direct is going to happen before E3 timeline or like the placeholder of E3 area? What do you think?
Let's see. It's March now. I don't think we're getting anything in March.
No, there was something that I actually forgot to bring up: the Levi's collaboration and the Lego collaboration too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The Levi's collaboration is actually looking really cool. I want the pants that they're releasing, and there's a print hoodie too. They look really neat. I was actually thinking that they were going to release like real world versions of the overalls that Mario and Luigi wear.
Oh, that would have been sweet too.
Yeah.
This just goes to show more of Nintendo allowing their characters to be like branched out, especially because Levi, I believe, is a U.S. company, and Lego for sure is a U.S. company.
That Lego set looks just so cool. Like, there's a bunch of people complaining, you give us this instead of a direct, whatever. I don't know. It looks like it's Mario Maker Lego form. It's so neat.
These people are nuts, man.
Down with these people.
That's so lame, dude. I've heard people also saying like, you give us this type of set instead of your standard type of Lego set. And it's like,
it's
man,
interesting. It's Nintendo. It's innovative. It has like the little Mario figure has like a Bluetooth button on the back. I'm assuming it's going to connect to Mario Run or something like that. Or there's probably going to be an app that comes out with it. Whatever.
I can understand why people would want just a regular Lego, but
the
who
thing
cares? This is the first step.
It's the first step. They're releasing this first, a really interesting, innovative one. And then there's nothing said that they weren't going to release minifigures or other sets. I think it would be stupid because, like, they have the Star Destroyer from Star Wars or the Simpsons house. But if they got the rights to do something with Super Mario and not make Peach's Castle, that would be weird.
I understand people's if I understand where they're coming from. If they just wanted your quintessential Lego set that no one ever touches but puts on the shelf kind of set. Mm-hmm. But think about it. Nintendo, the way they approach things, look how long it took for them to get into the mobile market with apps.
Yeah,
they didn't just want to copy and paste Mario Brothers 1-1 on the App Store,
which they would make $1 billion if they did.
Right.
Like, that annoyed me when Super Mario Run came out because everyone was like, "Why do I have to pay for this?" It's like, am I the only one that remembers that you had to buy cell phone games at one time? Like,
And that's why they partnered up with DNA, so that they can really hunker down and double down on and put um, R&D into something so that they can give you what Nintendo would ideally make if their top teams were making mobile games. They're not just gonna Konami it or something where let's just put a Yu-Gi-Oh game and it's gonna sell a bunch of games just because it's they really want to get in the thick of it. That's why they did the same approach with this Lego thing. It's kids are going to be drawn to it because they're going to want to play whatever game that the game is offering. Like I think it's time based or point based, and I feel like pretty much what I'm trying to say is that Nintendo doesn't want to do a half measure. They want to full measure everything, and that's great. That's why they're
Yeah, it seems like Nintendo is involved when it comes to like the Levi thing. I can't really say one way or another because it's hard to really say.
There's not even all full pictures of what they're releasing. There is like an overall thing, but you see like the back of the guy standing there, and there's a pocket on the back, and you see a picture of like the coin going into the pocket. There's no picture of the front yet. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't know. The clothes do look really cool, and I'm excited.
I'm just saying that it seems like Nintendo's always involved with their third party products, and they always put their own spin on it.
Definitely. And I'm like I said, I saw some other videos that there's rumors out there is going to be minifigures and other sets. They just wanted to release this one first. It's like a Lego version of Mario Maker. You can set up your own pathway.
Which I hope they do. I really do, and don't.
If you watch the video, it pretty much seems like it's already like that.
If they did that with Zelda, what would I do?
Die.
I would. I really would. I have to get a divorce.
One of your kids.
Yeah, I don't even know what I'd do if Zelda came out.
Well, we're still waiting on Funko to just destroy our lives.
Yeah.
I still think it's gonna happen.
Well, we got a couple of minutes left. I had something to say, but I can't remember it at the moment. What do you guys think? Anyone have any questions in the chat? If you do, throw them out. I heard that Miyamoto said that he talked about the movie, the Mario movie. He said it's coming.
I heard about that too.
Yeah, and I think we're getting it 2022. So that's not that far away, 2022. And I read why, only a little bit. I didn't have a lot of time. And he said something along the lines of, I knew I wanted this guy to do the movie when he started telling me about his failures and instead of his successes. And so do you think we're going to get a talking Mario? We have to get a talking Mario for a 2-hour movie, an hour and a half movie.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be talking.
Charles Martinet, if he's doing the voice, I don't think they're going to have anybody else do the voice except for him.
If they had anybody but him do the voice, it would just...
What if they had like a scratchy, like, hey, it's me, Mario.
Or if they bring back the guy from the original Mario movie.
What, Bob Hoskins?
Yeah, I forgot his name, but yeah, him.
Didn't he pass away?
Yeah, he did die.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. My bad.
Way to bring the show down, Devin.
2014.
He said that dude actually has a really good career, and he said that Mario movie was the biggest mistake of it.
I don't know. I'm still the weird one. I actually really like that movie because of how weird and silly it was.
Never watch it again, otherwise you won't like it.
No, I actually watched it recently, and I still do.
Speaking of movie games, the Blu-ray release for The Wizard is coming out in a couple weeks.
Oh, really? Wow.
I think it's around the 25th. It's being released. Let me double check. I have it. I got it ordered on Amazon.
Interesting. Alrighty.
Sub64, any question, just like, what's your favorite this, what's your favorite that, or like, what would happen if
24th
if Master Chief fought Samus? Who would win that fight, guys?
Samus.
Yeah, EPS just goes, what if the new Mario movie features the brothers being arrested? And then when asked what their names are, they said Mario, and Luigi Mario. Okay.
Oh.
That would be an interesting thing to deal with.
What it's really last name? It's I don't know. I wonder what their last name really is.
Wasn't Miyamoto told about the live action Mario movie and the names, and didn't he pretty much say, yeah, pretty much that's what their names are?
No, he actually laughed at it. He said,
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he's like, no, it's just it was almost like he didn't grasp the concept and he laughed it off. The re-release of The Wizard has already been out on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I could have sworn it was a new release, because I don't remember seeing it come up on Blu-ray before.
Okay.
All right, well, it is 8:00. It is pretty much time for closing down. You guys want to, like, I might lie. Oh, you know what? I have to work on Friday. Dang it. But maybe not at night. Like, get our villages set up and try to, like, figure out a way to, like, if we can get our village set up and live stream it, I'll do it. My work is in, like, in the daytime next week. So, if we can get our crap together, maybe we can live stream it or just play. I don't even care. I want to, like, I just want to play Animal Crossing.
Yeah, dude, so do I. I've been dying to play this game.
You know, I don't want to go outside and catch bugs, but I do want. But I'm just dying to catch bugs in Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
So
that's why I've been playing Pocket Camp like crazy. It's definitely scratching the itch, but I need that game soon.
yeah. So maybe we can do something for that. But anybody want to have anything to close it out?
All good.
Mm-mm.
All right, then William, you can tell us that story in a second because it's dangerous to go alone, people. Maybe not next week. We'll do something online with Animal Crossing. I'm not 100% sure, but we will definitely have played it by then. AJ Magician, haven't seen you in a minute. I still want a J Leguizamo. Luigi's
John Leguizamo. Yeah, that'd be.
Yeah, that would be funny. So anyways, guys, dangerous to go alone. Share this with a friend, this podcast. We just like to have fun. We appreciate every single one of you. Have a great night.
Good night.
See ya.